warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Fitriah Fajriatul Mas'ula. I'm from TBI1. My ID number is T2019-6038. I would like to explain about the rules of phonology and prosodic phonology. The first one is the rules of phonology. Phonological rules are part of speakers' knowledge of the language. The phonemic representations are minimally specified because some features or feature values are predictable. The type of phonological rules. First is assimilation rules. Vowel nasalizations is an assimilation rule or a rule that makes neighboring segments more similar by duplicating a phonemic property. We can use similar notations to state the nasalization rule as vowels become nasalized in the environment before nasal segments within a syllable. Voicing assimilations. The value of the voicing feature goes from positive voice to negative voice because of assimilation to the negative voice feature of the final consonant of the stem. For example words, cat. Homorganic nasal rule. In this case, the place of articulation bilabial, alveolar, velar of the nasal assimilates to the place of articulation of the following consonants. For example words, impossible, intolerant, incongruous. Second is dissimilation rules. A segment becomes less similar to another segment. It is sometimes easier to articulate dissimilar sounds. Fricative dissimilation rule. This rule applies to sequences F sounds and S sounds, changing them to the F sounds and S sounds. For example words, fifth becomes fifth, sixth becomes sixth. Third is feature changing rules. The assimilation and dissimilation rules we have seen may be thought of as feature changing rules. Some feature changing rules are neither assimilation nor dissimilation rules. The rule in English that aspires voiceless stops at the beginning of a syllable simply adds a non-distinctive feature. Generally, aspiration occurs only if the following vowel is stressed. For example words, pit, repeat, and inspects. Aspiration also takes place even with an intervening consonant. For example words, crib, clip, and quip. Fourth is segment insertion and deletion rules. Phonological rules may add or delete entire segments. The process of inserting a consonant or vowel is called epenthesis. The examples of epenthesis. Insert a sounds before the plural morpheme, the sounds when a regular noun ends in a sibilant giving a sounds. For example, boxes, glasses, and houses. Segment deletion rules are commonly found in many languages and are far more prevalent than segment insertion rules. For example words, mystery reads mystery, general reads general, memory reads memory, funeral reads funeral, vigorous reads vigorous, Barbara reads Barbara. Fifth, movement or metathesis rules. Phonological rules may also reorder sequences of phonemes, in which case they are called metathesis rules. For example, asked and asking. 6. From one to many and from many to one. Phonological rules that relate phonemics to phonemic representation have several functions. The first is function change feature values. The example is nasal consonant assimilation rules in Akan and English. Second function is add new features. The example is aspiration in English. The third function is delete segments. The example is G. Deletion before nasals in English. The fourth function is add segments. The example is square insertions in English plural and past tense. The fifth function is reorder segments. The example is Metathesis rule relating ask and asking. Consider the vowels in the following pairs of words. A. Compete. B. Competitions. A. Medicinal. B. Medicine. A. Maintain. B. Maintenance. A. Telegraph. B. Telegraphy. A. Analysis. B. Analytic. A. Solid. B. Solidity. A. Phones. B. Phonetic. A. Talmudic. B. Talmud. In these cases, the stress pattern of the word varies because of the different suffix. The vowel that is stressed in one form becomes reduced in a different form and is therefore pronounced as a. The phonemic representation of all of the root morphemes contain an unreduced vowel such as e or a that is phonetically sounds when it is reduced. And now I would like to explain about the prosodic phonology. What is prosody? This refers to the study of the tone and rhythm of speech and how these features contribute to meaning. It is also consists of distinctive variation of stress, tone, and theming in spoken language. Definition of prosodic phonology. It is a theory of the way in which the flow of speech is organized into a finite set of phonological units. It is also a theory of interactions between phonology and the components of the grammar. There are 4 prosodic features. First is syllable structure, second is word stress, third is sentence and phrase stress, fourth is intonation. First is syllable structure. What is syllable? It is commonly known to be a speech unit that is larger than a segment. There are 2 types of syllable. First is open syllable, usually ends in a vowel. Second is closed syllable, usually ends in one or more consonants. For example, the English words go and we are all made up of single open syllables. Eat, ball, molds, and rest are all made of single closed syllables. Classification according to number of syllables. There are 3 classifications. First is monosyllabic, 1 syllable. Second, disyllabic, 2 syllables. Third is polysyllabic, 2 or more syllables. How do we describe syllable structures? Canonical syllable structure. It is the schema that accounts for all the syllables in language. In terms of possible consonants and vowel sequences permitted, written in terms of the generic symbols C for consonants and V for vowels. For example, words go is C, V. High is C, V. Eat is V, C. And ball is C, V, C. A syllable has a 3-party structure. The syllable consists of an obligatory constituent, nucleus, which is a vowel, and 2 optional constituents, onset and coda, both of which are consonants. The word a, the syllable structure, this nucleus. The word go, the syllable structure, onset and nucleus. The word back, the syllable structure, onset, nucleus and coda. The word on, the syllable structure, nucleus and coda. The word product, the syllable structure, onset, nucleus and coda. For example, the word back is monosyllabic or just 1 syllable. The alphabet B is onset, and the alphabet A and G are rhyme that consists of nucleus and coda. Second, word stress. What is stress? It is the rhythm of a language. In pronunciation, stress can refer to words, part of a word, or even one word in a group of words that receives the most emphasis. Stress in the relative emphasis that may be given to certain syllables in a word, or to certain words in a phrase or certain. Stressed syllables are louder than non-stressed syllables. Also, they are longer and have a higher pitch. It also helps us distinguish words from nouns to verbs. There are three basic patterns of stress in syllables. First is monosyllabic, second is bisyllabic, third is multisyllabic. For general rules about word stress, first, stress the first syllables of A, most two-syllable nouns, for example words, climates and knowledge. B, most two-syllable adjectives, for example words, flippant and spacious. Second, stress the last syllables of A, most two-syllable verbs, for example words, require and decide. Third, stress the second to last syllables of A, words that end in ic, for example words, aesthetic and geographic. B, words ending in tions, for example words, extensions and retributions. Fourth, stress the third from last syllables of A, words that end in C, T, P, and G, for example words, democracy, uncertainty, and geography. Third is sentence and pre-stress. What is sentence and pre-stress? Sentence stress is the music of spoken English. Sentence stress is what gives English its rhythm or beat. When words are combined into phrases and sentences, one syllable receives more stress than the others. Phrasal stress can distinguish a compound noun from an adjective plus noun combination. For example, compound nouns, example words, hot dog, a type of food. Adjective plus nouns, example words, hot dog, an overheated dog. Compound nouns, example words, red coat, a British soldier. Adjective plus nouns, red coat, a coat that is red. Most sentences have two basic types of words. First, content words. Content words are the key words of a sentence. They are the important words that carry the meaning or sense the real contents. Second, structured words. There are small, simple words that make the sentence correct grammatically. They give the sentence its correct from its structure. Basic rules of sentence and pre-stress. First, content words are stressed. Second, structured words are unstressed. Third, the time between stressed words is always the same. Content words, stressed words carrying the meaning. First, main verbs. Example, sell, give, employ. Second, nouns. Example, car, music, marry. Third, adjectives. Example, red, big, interesting. Fourth, adverbs. Example, quickly, loudly, never. Fifth, negative auxiliaries. Example, don't, aren't, and can't. Content words unstressed. Words for correct grammar. First, pronouns. Example, he, we, they. Second, prepositions. Example, on, at, into. Third, articles. Example, a, an, the. Fourth, conjunctions. Example, and, but, because. Fifth, auxiliary verbs. Example, do, be, have, can, and must. Fourth, intonations. What is intonations? In phonetics, the melodic pattern of an utterance. Intonation helps to recognize The language that you hear in the same way as the melody of a song helps you recognize the song that you are listening. It also conveys differences of expressive meaning. For example, surprise, anger, and happiness. There are two types of intonations. For example, your name is John, rising intonation. It can express a number of various emotions, such as non-finality, surprise, doubt, interest, politeness, lack of confidence. Your name is John, falling intonations, used for asking and giving information in normal, quiet, and emphatic style. Other main types of intonation include high fall, low fall rise, high rise, mid-level rise, low rise. Key components of intonations. First, pitch, degree of height of our voice in speech. Second, sentence stress, makes the utterance understandable to the listener by making the important words in the sentence stressed, clear, and higher in pitch, and by the shortening and obscuring the unstressed words. Third, rhythm, sense of movement in speech, marked by stress, timing, quantity of syllables. Function of intonation. There are four functions of intonation. First is attitudinal functions. Allows us to express emotions such as confidence, interest, doubt, joy, pain, and irony. Second, accentual function. Imply the placement of stress is determined by intonations. Third, grammatical functions. The listener is better able to recognize the grammar and syntax structure of what is being said by using information contained in the intonations, such as A. The placement of boundaries between phrases, clauses, and sentences. B. The difference between questions and statements. And the last or the fourth is discourse intonations. It can indicate when the speaker is indicating some sort of contrast or link with material in another tone unit. In conversation, it can convey to the listener what kind of response is being expected from them. 7 cases where intonation matters. First is asking questions. Second, making statements. Third, listing things. Fourth, expressing feelings. Fifth, stressing the importance of some things. Sixth, contrasting between things. 7, using tag questions. Okay, that's all about the rules of phonology and prosodic phonology. Thank you for your attention. I apologize if I made some mistake. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.